Hey everyone, it's Broman here. So, hopefully you guys watched that non-spoiler video. This one will be the spoiler video. Um, so yeah, as I said in my previous video, I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. And I'm going to dive into the spoilers and stuff to kind of give a better reason as to why, it's a 6.5. There were some issues with the CGI, so there's actually a part. So Bruce never turns into the Hulk at all in this movie, except at the beginning sequence where the Hulk gets beat up by Thanos, because Thanos knows how to fight better and stuff. But there's that whole thing with the power levels seem to be misplaced because the angrier the Hulk gets, the stronger he gets. So I don't know. It seems like they don't know what to do with the Hulk at all in the MCU. They have no freaking clue, and it's really annoying. I wish they would figure their shit out, honestly, but yeah, because Heimdall is killed and Loki are killed on that Asgardian ship. And it really sucks though that they're all pretty much dead now. I'm like, man, what the? Yeah, I don't get that, and I don't know if they can reverse that kind of stuff with the Infinity Island, all the gems. I don't know if they can or not, but it should be possible. I mean, they could bring Loki back. Because the Infinity Gauntlet with all the gem stuff actually has that kind of power. You can actually resurrect. So, and another, and then there's a thing with the CGI. At this one point, in which involves an epic moment and stuff with Thor, and I was just like. So Bruce Banner at the Battle of Wakanda, the Hulkbuster armor, that's Bruce in that, because he can't turn into the Hulk for some reason, and it's never really explained. Although someone said well maybe he was traumatized from the fight or whatever from Thanos after getting defeated like that. I don't know. It's never really delved into in the movie. But when Thor comes down to Earth to help with the fight and stuff, it's pretty cool. That's an epic moment right there when he just comes down and stuff, and I'm just like, fuck yeah! I'm just like, woo! It's Thor. He's gonna kick your asses now. So, but Mark Ruffalo kind of has that fanboy moment and stuff, but the CGI though with the suit in his head, it's so bad. I'm looking, I'm like, the fuck is that? But it's kind of funny though with that part because he's like, oh yeah, you're all screwed now. I'm like, yeah, they're technically screwed since Thor is there and stuff, but yeah, actually, it's kind of cool though with Teenage Groot kind of using his arm or whatever to help make the handle and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. But there was actually a moment in the trailer. There's actually two things. So when Thor does that lightning thing or whatever, Rocket and Groot are there or something, and that's not in the movie. I don't know what the point of that whole thing with him doing his lightning thing. I don't know what was going on with that. And there's a whole thing in the first trailer, with the heroes running, that's on there because there's Hulk, but he's not in it. It's just a promotional shot. That's all that is. Which I don't know why they did that. But it's a non-canon thing that. So, yeah. So there's some things over here. Well, I guess I'll talk about this thing and the characters that should have been introduced in this movie. So Magus, who is the evil version of Adam Warlock, if you want to know who that is, just go to the Marvel Wiki page and type in Adam Warlock, and it'll tell you who he is and stuff. And but he is the evil version of Adam Warlock, and Goddess, who is the good version of Adam Warlock. I think these two should have been introduced. And the way how Thanos obtains the Soul Gem is like the biggest middle finger, literally like this, to everyone who's sitting there. I think the way how it was done was just pathetic, and yeah, because like in the Infinity Gauntlet, he already has those, but this is like where he's going to get them and stuff. So it's like the prequel to the Infinity Gauntlet and stuff and all that, and yada yada yada. But with these two, I think Thanos should have actually gone into Soul World instead, not the planet, where the Soul Gem is at, or something like that. Or he could have like at least gone there or something like that with Gamora or whatever. And then he has to go into the Soul Gem, into Soul World or something like that, and has to do some sort of instead of sacrificing Gamora, maybe he has to defeat Magus and Gaius to obtain the Soul Gem or something like that. Like, say they're the Guardians, that he's got to like do something with that, or defeat another version of himself. Instead of killing Gamora, which pissed me off beyond belief. I don't know why they had to do that, but it's like they kind of ran out of ideas or something like that, or they just didn't have the right people in the right room. Moondragon, I think instead of Red Skull being the one to be the Guardian, which I think is bullshit, that whole thing going on, honestly, was just freaking stupid. I think Moondragon would have actually been perfect, honestly, for the Guardian, because she's part of the Infinity Watch. So I think, because they can't have Adam Warlock because they plan on introducing her in the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie. But that doesn't mean you can't have Magus and Goddess there. I mean, they're the future versions and stuff and personality things, but that doesn't mean or you can have something in there where like later down the line, the Guardians take it or something like that, and they use this to like help make Adam Warlock. I mean, you can do something like that. It's not that far fetched, really, when you think about it. I sometimes come up with ideas and stuff that actually doesn't sound too bad, but that's just me. And then Nova, Richard Rider. So Xandar, Roman Day. I think he should have been like on a course, for somewhere where I honestly don't know. Maybe to like go find the Guardians of the Galaxy, I guess, or something like that. Or go to nowhere and perhaps like the Guardians would meet him there. And I don't know, something like that. But then like he gets pushed off course or whatever, and he goes to Earth and stuff, and he gives like his powers and stuff to Richard Rider, who finds the ship and stuff, which I think would have worked. And then Taraxia, I think she could have been in it. She's created by Thanos stuff just for someone to like to replace Death, like, because he's trying to impress Death and stuff with all this chaos, destruction, death and stuff like he's causing and stuff, but Death is not really impressed by him and stuff because he is breaking the balance and stuff of the universe, and he's not really supposed to be doing that. So, but yeah, Traxia would be nice because she actually kills Spider-Man and Iron Man in it. So yeah, and then Mephisto could have been cool. I think at least having these two characters and stuff, they could have been there instead of maybe the Black Order. That's just me. And then Star Fox Arrows, who is the brother of Thanos. Like, where the hell was he at, dude? Like, I was expecting, like, oh, they're going Titan? Like, okay. Star Fox, where are you, dude? Like, hello? Oh, you're not here because... for reasons? I mean, the fuck? Like, Thanos is evil and stuff the way he is because he also killed his own mother, too. Like, that, because the Moon Titan is like where the Greek Titans are primordial deities and stuff are living at. So because I'm gonna actually go into this because the plot is freaking stupid. The plot of this movie is retarded. Overpopulation stuff is and using of all the finite resources and everything. I mean, the hell? Like, the heck is this bullshit, Yeah, because Thanos is collecting. So, the plot should have been, for the reason he goes to court death. He believes by causing death and destruction, he can prove his love to her and that he is an omnipotent being. So that would have actually been better, because that's why he's doing this I am this and stuff, and I'm doing this for death, and I am proving my. Sorry, I should put this hand. That for doing what he's doing, that I am worthy of her and stuff, of her love and all that. So that's why he's kind of mad, mad Titan and stuff. So yeah, I think that would be better, especially. I think the whole torture scene and stuff, I guess, works and stuff. I don't know. It's just since she's kind of computer stuff, this and that. And all, I don't know. Because in the Infinity Gauntlet, she's in this area between life and death and stuff. So, anyway, so I put a list down of who should have lived. And I'll tell you out of this list who actually died in the movie and why I think they need. Here's the thing. Okay? When you keep on certain directors for too long, they kind of lose their lust or their flavor, I guess. Not lust. Fuck. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why I said that. Scratch that. Erase it. Lose their flavor. On the franchise and stuff, they kind of disconnected and go off in a different direction. Doctor Strange, he dies, but he should have lived because he was actually alive. He was actually kind of he was a bit of a backseat character in the Infinity Gauntlet, but his role was nonetheless important. The Hulk, who actually does live, Nebula, who does live, Drax the Destroyer, who actually dies, but he's actually alive. They don't. Because some of the characters and stuff, which I think would have been really cool, is Thanos just throws him off into different areas of the universe or whatever. But Doctor Strange has this thing where he knows where they are or something like that, and teleports them back or whatever for this final assault. That. Oh my gosh, I don't know why they couldn't have just done that. That would have been so cool, but, whatever. I mean, and Gamora, who's actually in the Soul World, she's actually there being protected and stuff, but they could have just done something else with her, or she could have escaped from Thanos. And then War Machine, who actually does live. Black Panther, who actually dies. I think he should have actually stayed alive. You want the king to actually live and stuff. So when I saw him die, I'm like, the fuck, like you just had him in these movies and stuff, but like I don't know, they don't have their head on straight. Ant-Man, who's not in this movie, but he is mentioned, but I think he should have been in this movie. If he wasn't, keep him alive. Scarlet Witch, like, what was it? Elizabeth Olsen, who is freaking gorgeous. I mean, she is beautiful. Like, oh my gosh. I wanted her to live. Like, she's a really beautiful woman and stuff, and I just seeing her on her screen is like a treat for me. Don't get into the weird stuff in the comments. And Winter Soldier, who dies. Just that list alone, I think would be okay actually for those to live. But yeah, Winter Soldier dies, and I'm like, especially the way how he died. I'm just like, the frick is all this shit going on, man? Like, what the hell? But yeah. And so who should have died? Iron Man. Traxia, killed him. So I think he should have died. Captain America. Like that. There's actually a part in it where Thanos punches him, but then Cap gets back up, and I'm like, wait a minute, he should have been dead when I punched him. Like, what was it, like a sucker punch or something like that? Like, I don't know. But yeah, Cap should have died. Thor, Thanos turns Thor into glass and then like breaks that glass stuff. Spider-Man, who actually gets killed by Traxia. M'Baku, because he survives for some reason. And Mantis, she actually does die. So actually, here, let me see. So Spider-Man actually does die. Mantis actually does die. Loki, he actually does die. Hawkeye, he's killed off actually in the beginning of the Infinity Gauntlet. Thanos just goes like that, and he just dies along with Cersei and several other characters and stuff around the world. See, so yeah, Hawkeye should have, and then Vision, who actually does die in this movie twice. Talk about having a bad day, man. So yeah, Vision, and then I think Noah does die in the Infinity Gauntlet. I had to read it over because you read these things. I'm reading this and then I'm reading Infinity War, so my mind's juggling between the two, and it's kind of remembering the recent thing. I guess I could have read the Infinity War after the movie, but then Black Widow should have died, but she does live. But I think she should have actually died. Wong should have actually died, but he is someone who stays alive. But I guess having him alive, I don't know what the hell they can even do with him if he's just gonna stay at the Sanctum Sanctorum. I'm not sure. Falcon, who does die, I do agree with that. He should have died. The Black Order, they all actually do get killed and stuff. Rocket Raccoon should have died, but he lives. Groot, who I think should have died. Actually, he does die in this movie. And then there's a scene actually where Scarlet Witch and Vision are in Scotland. What the hell? Why are they in Scotland? I think they should have been in Iceland, which would have been better, but yeah, that's my stuff on this. Really, is there anything else I can think of? Yeah, it's just. Oh, let's see, so at the end, Thanos kind of wakes up after what he did, and he's on this farm area, which is kind of from the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War stuff, where we see Thanos, where he's kind of just being himself, or just living in peace and stuff, away from everything. And it's got the Scarecrow, so that was a little bit nice to see. But yeah. Oh, but the Infinity Gem, this is the thing. I know in unison they all work together and stuff, but I don't know if you can actually use one to reconstruct the other, because the mind gem gets destroyed by Wanda, and I'm like, huh, okay, well, like, so that's it then, like, for the whole, thing. Like, he doesn't have that, and he only has this. So they kind of like sort of in a way of one situation. Like, he can't acquire that gem, but um, you know, I don't know. Like, because he uses the time gem to reconstruct like what happened and everything there. Like, I don't know if something like that like can really be that powerful to reconstruct something that's not, that's a whole different thing and stuff. So I don't know. I was kind of questioning that, honestly, when I saw that go down. I'm like, I'm having a hard time believing that, but I don't know. I mean, if that's been done in the comic books before, something like that, you know, you can say it down below and send me a link to where it's happened, because I don't mind, knowing that stuff. You know, um, you know, I haven't exactly read much of the new stuff except for like Doctor Doom as Iron Man, a little bit of that, and then a bit of like the Spider-Man stuff, like, I don't know, from like 2014 or 2015 or something like that. I would have to check, but yeah. So stuff like that has happened between, I don't know, 1991 to like now, where you can use a time gem to manipulate this other time gem by itself. But I don't think you actually can. I don't think Thanos could actually use the time gem to even reconstruct that mind gem. I think once that thing's destroyed, it's just destroyed. There's nothing that can actually be done. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to call BS on that, actually. So yeah, that's about it, really. Yeah, so hopefully maybe those deaths and stuff and who should have lived, maybe you agree that you can see why and stuff, and like, read the Infinity Gauntlet and stuff, because the Infinity War, now that's an entirely different thing. Okay, I will tell you actually about that, because in that one, the Magus, the evil future like version of Adam Warlock. So what happened is, there was this point where actually Adam Warlock destroyed this one timeline where the Magus is actually just is created and stuff, from like in the Universal Church of Truth and stuff, and all that goes down in the future. But Adam Warlock destroys that timeline and stuff for it to never happen, and so Magus is destroyed. But then Adam Warlock expels both the good and evil out of him. So Magus is then created again, and Magus goes on this revenge kind of thing to then acquire the Infinity Gauntlet and the Infinity Gems, and he's kind of like scattering things around and stuff, and he's sending out doppelgangers of our heroes, of to attack them and stuff, and like Reed Richards kind of falls, and so does Iron Man. Like, those two don't exactly make it, which kind of sucks, honestly. It really ticks me off that happened, but it did. Spider-Man is okay, but him and like Hawkeye like, get knocked out or whatever by these other doppelgangers, I believe, and then Wolverine is fine and stuff, but he can tell something's not right and stuff. But yeah, and it also has like the Infinity Watch, which has Adam Warlock, Drax, Moondragon, Gamora, and then like this little troll dude, so I forget what his name is, but um, yeah, and then Thanos kind of is like in it just temporarily. And they go off to do their stuff. There's Galactus in it. There's Silver Surfer, because Silver Surfer is actually in the Infinity Gauntlet too. But yeah, and Doctor Strange is in the Infinity War as well, helping Galactus out stuff. But yeah, there's just all this stuff going on and everything. Magus does acquire the Infinity Gauntlet, but he doesn't exactly have true omnipotent power, because you're not exactly omnipotent really with that. You can only do certain things, but like, although the way how that thing works though is kind of awkward, because it seems that it has more power over the celestial beings, which confuses me. Like, the living tribunal can't be affected by it, but neither can the Beyonder or one above all. But anyone below the living tribunal could be affected by it, which I thought was kind of cuckoo, really. But yeah, there's just a whole lot of differences between these two comic books that are being, the titles pretty much being used, and a little bit of elements from Infinity that are sprinkled in for the story. But yeah, it's the movie is so-so. It's still a 6.5 out of 10. It's it's a mediocre kind of movie. It's but do go see it if you wish. If you're one of those people that likes to see these movies and stuff. And what I mean by these, the MCU movies. So if you like them stuff, then yeah, go ahead, go see it. Go see it by yourself, or with a pack of friends, or just a friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, kids. Well, it is kids, I mean, at least 13 and over, but yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say about this. Yeah, that's about it. So, yeah, I can't think of anything else. So, yeah, that's it. But, yeah, thanks for watching.